I saw him, lad, steal the lamb at dawn on Friday. The thief were none other than Jethro Watkin. Me, being his neighbour, I could recognise him a mile off. He were wearing the same green coat he wears today. I see the evidence compels to one conclusion only. Jethro Watkin, you stand accused of the theft of one of Lord Richmond's lambs. The verdict is guilty. Will you plead extenuating circumstances, a hungry wife and children? My heart bleeds for them. This is the excuse any vagabond may plead. And yet you whistle to another more beguiling tune. You claim this lamb by some antiquarian rights, which has it, you say, that the land on which you trespassed was and remains common to the villagers of Coppenham. You blow the dust off yet another ancient right, that on one day in every 7 years even a common serf might claim a lamb from the lord of the manor, if he had laboured that same span at harvest and in winter time upon the lord's domain. Fellow, I am no collector of parchment, half eaten by the maggot. I know how at present the law stands, by which I am entitled, nay bound, to have you hanged. From your indignant expression, I anticipate how you will play the martyr's part, doubtless to inspire your friends. They say that rabble-rousing vagrant John Bull once harangued the gaping peasantry on the very hill where now the gibbet stands. When Adam delved and Eve span, who was then the gentleman? Thus were beguiled the giddy, the fond, the credulous, the wild. Today, as you are doubtless aware, there is talk of reform. Philanthropists have sent petitions to Parliament, written tracts, and I would not wager a farthing that in some 20-30 years the laws pertaining to the penalties for theft still stand. But why all this idle speculation? I uphold the law today, and by this law I'll have you hanged. You are a menace to the peace. You will be taken from this court to a place of execution to be hanged by the neck until you are dead, and may God have mercy on your soul. Away with him. They murmur. They think me hard, brutish, callous. So let them. Yet but for his haughty, moralistic tone, I might have let him live. Such men as he are dangerous. Stealing a lamb is not itself so vile a crime, unless the act be intended as a challenge to the established order, and it is for this audacity that he must lay down his life. The lamb's significance is merely symbolic. Besides, the man's a fool. There was only one witness. What had he to lose? No, I maintain the heinous nature of his crime lies in his intent, not the act. If the law is not rigorously applied, insurrection may rear its fearful head, and I cannot allow my stomach to become queasy about breaking the occasional neck. Besides, my role is to accuse. Accusation is an art not easily acquired. I doubt it can be acquired, least of all by blowing the dust off tedious legal tomes. To be a good accuser, you needs must have a nose like mine, so that you can scent out a man's guilt. Sifting evidence is a menial task, fit for pedants, scribblers and the like, essentially superfluous, though expedience demands this fact be concealed from public consciousness. What gardener, knowing a tree to be diseased, rotten through and through, waits the long summer till mildewed fruit confirms what he always knew? Times change, and with them fashions, even laws, but not the need. They will always need men like me to say, your hands are calloused, or yours are lily-white. You are an infidel, a papist, a Jew, a heretic. Not what you do, but what you are, offends. I have a long and illustrious lineage, noble my pedigree, Haman, Caiaphas, the Grand Inquisitor, and in more recent years my colleague Jeffreys puts me quite to shame. To him a man's guilt is proven by the very fact he breathes. Compared to him I am a mild and kindly man, a humanitarian. I humbly serve the powers that be, my conscience not withholding. Therefore I shall never have to fear for livelihood, nor need any of my kind. We shall thrive, I trow, until the day of doom. And even then, I trust, we'll find employ. There'll be the devil's part to play. Oh, woe to them that lack a ready advocate at that assize. You know, sometimes I think I get quite carried away. My papers, clerk? Call the next case. The Crown against Samuel Fuller. Samuel Fuller, you stand accused of stealing 2 loaves from Master Fisher of Coppenham in the county of Kent. How do you plead?